All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. If you need a roof or anything else, make sure you give Ireland Contracting a call. 1-800-NEW-ROOF. No one's better in the business. Give us a call right now on the Borders and Borders hotline. 412-575-2600 is the number. Also wanted to mention Penn Hills just beat Pine Richland in the 6A championship, Whitfield championship at the Peterson Event Center. Penn Hills, my high school. They won it 60-56. It was their first Whitfield championships. It's dating back to 2003. They also won in 2000. That was when Drew Schiaffino was on the team, the former West Virginia star. All right, we're going to go out to the phone lines. We're going to go out to Chris out in Rural Valley. How you doing, Chris?
Hi. I'd like to talk about the Pirates. And yesterday, you guys were talking about how Glasnow was pitching. And I feel like Glasnow, I think the Pirates should trade Glasnow. He's been okay in some games, but not always in any other games. Like, he has his ups and downs.
Yeah, Chris, let me ask you first before I answer this question. What would you get for Glasnow? I don't think the Pirates can trade him.
I really don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big question. You know, thanks for your call, Chris. I appreciate it. They could have got a lot for him a couple years ago, but he struggled beyond AAA, and that's the problem right now. I think what you have to do with Glasnow, you got to put him in the majors no matter what. He either sinks or swims. You got to get him up here. You either start him in the rotation or you start him in the bullpen and you keep him up here, and if he fails, you just keep putting him out there, and that's what you have to do because he's proven everything that he could possibly prove on the AAA level. If he's going to develop, maybe you can work with him up here in Pittsburgh. But, you know, right now I think being in AAA, unless you want to get him start after start after start again, I don't know what that does to develop this kid anymore because he's been pretty dominant on the AAA level. Now, getting back to your point of trying to trade this guy, he's not valuable. You're basically just giving up on him if you trade him. You wouldn't get anything in return. Maybe another prospect that's having troubles on another team somewhere, but maybe a similar situation, change of environment. This guy can be a solid pitcher. Man, the guy can throw. He has a couple quality pitches. He's working things out in the minors. He's not where he wants to be, in spring training. He's not where he wants to be right now. But I would put him, like Paul and I said last night, put him as your fifth starter. Just pencil him in right there and maybe have someone waiting, you know, a pitcher that you can pull him after 2 or 3 innings, that you have a Trevor Williams behind him or Stephen Brault behind him, kind of have a 2-pitcher rotation, what they do in college baseball. Maybe you have 6 pitchers, but you have 2 or 3 guys that are your 5th guy. You start Glasnow, then you bring in Trevor Williams or Chad Kuhl or whoever it might be, and that's kind of how you work it. Maybe they have to do something like that, but I wouldn't give up on Glasnow. I think that's your only option right now because you can't trade him. All right, back out to the phone lines. Let's go out to Gene in Lincoln. How you doing, Gene?
Hello?
Yeah, how you doing, Gene?
Good, how are you?
Thanks for calling. This is Gene. Gene, what's up?
Yeah, is the Pirates getting that go-kart you know of?
I didn't hear what you said, Gene. Can you repeat the question?
Is that go-kart coming to Pirates you know of?
Is that what?
That go-kart coming to Pirates you know of?
I still couldn't understand that question. Sorry. Can try it one more time?
Okay.
Go ahead, Gene.
Is that go-kart coming to Pirates you know of?
Man, I'm sorry, Gene. I can't understand you. Maybe give us a call, try us back at some point. All right, let's go to Terry and Gibsonia. How you doing, Terry?
Good.
Thanks for calling.
In my opinion, Jay Hay and Jordy Mercer would be utility players on any other team. Is there anyone coming up through the ranks, or is there any hope of getting Young Ho Gong back?
You know, that's something that we haven't really talked about, Terry, is Young Ho Gong. I don't think that the Pirates, the word I had a couple months ago, that the Pirates aren't even thinking about him in the future, in the near future, or even later on. I mean, I don't think he's part of their plan right now. They've kind of given up. I don't know if he'd be able to. I don't know if he can even get into this country. I think that's the biggest issue right now with him. I know he's been working out over there, but I think the Pirates have given up hope that they'll be able to get him back. It would be a bonus if they could, but I don't think he's in their long-range plans. I mean, they have Kevin Newman, Tucker, but those guys are still a few years away, a year away at least. Jordy Mercer, he's a solid shortstop. I like him on this team. I mean, Josh Harrison, he's a guy that they potentially should trade, in my opinion. I would try to trade him and get as much as you can, maybe a couple prospects. I mean, because I don't know if you have a solid team yet. And I guess maybe they're trying to wait and see what they have at the deadline, and if he has a good year, that maybe they'll trade him at the trade deadline. But, if you're going to rebuild, go out and rebuild. Just get rid of everyone and try to bring in young guys and tell everyone. That's what I think the biggest mistake by the Pirates are. They use a lot of rhetoric and they try to say retool instead of rebuild. I think fans would appreciate it more if they just came out and said, hey guys, we're rebuilding right now. We're going to try to do what the Cubs did. We're going to do what the White Sox are doing. We're going to do what did, and we're going to be good in 2 years. We're going to be good in 3 years. I promise you. I wish they would just come out and say that instead of trying to, get a piece here and try to still compete, but not really compete. And I think it's just costing them in the long run by just being this middle-of-the-road team, because you're never going to be so bad that you're going to get a high-end draft pick, but you're never going to be really good that you're going to be so dominant. So, I mean, the trades that they made, I know we're all questioning them. I think they're going to be better than most people think, but I think they're going to be around a 75-win team, which is not going to get them into the postseason. I know they're still trying to compete for that second wild card, but I don't really think it's a realistic possibility. So I would tear everything down, kind of what they were doing. Maybe you think that they didn't get enough for guys like Cole and McCutchen. I don't, but they believe that they did, and they said these are the best deals out there. So now try to trade your other guys. Try to trade Josh Harrison. Trade these guys so you can get younger guys to maybe be competitive next year or competitive in 2020, and maybe that should be your goal. That's kind of how I would approach it, but I'm not the general manager. I'm just a sportscaster, so they know more than I do. But that's your only move right now. You got to keep.
And I think hopefully Polanco will finally play to his potential. I think that would be huge for the team.
Yeah, I know the Pirates have been hoping for that. I mean, he doesn't want to play left field, so that's where you're going to see Corey Dickerson. Is this guy a left fielder at PNC Park? That's what we're going to find out. They have Bryce Brent's behind him, some potential there. Nava, another guy. And then Austin Meadows is a young guy. He's been playing really well in the minors, but in spring training, but they're not gonna bring him up probably until July, because now you have a bunch of outfielders, and unless you're going to start Austin Meadows and play him every day, there's no reason to bring him up.
Right.
Thanks a lot, Terry. I appreciate it. Let's go out to Rich out in Garfield. How you doing, Rich?
Hey, Rich, how are you tonight?
Good, thanks for calling.
All right, before I make my point, Rich, and the reason I called, the guy from Lincoln wanted to know if the Pirates were going to get Zach Cozart from the Reds.
Oh, I thought he was saying Jeff Zachart. Zachart.
You know what? It took me the third time.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't hear.
You give him till I understood what he was trying to convey.
Okay, well, thanks for. Maybe I couldn't hear because of
You're welcome.
earpiece.
But the reason I'm calling, Rich, is the Penguin announcers. Now, the Penguins did a great thing tonight, Rich, in raising $2.2 million for a tremendous cause. But Rob King and the play-by-play guy, Mears, saying the Penguins have the best fans in hockey. Rich, it wasn't too long ago when if you were 14 years of age or younger, if you showed up at Will Call the day of the game, you were comped free tickets. 7,000 empty seats a night at the Civic Arena. And regarding the consecutive sellout streak, the Minnesota Wild have more than the Penguins, and the Toronto Maple Leafs, Rich, have sold every ticket to every hockey game since 1933. That's 86 consecutive years, over 4,000 consecutive sellouts. That's why I wanted to call.
Yeah, Rich, I appreciate the call. I'm not going to disagree with what those guys said. I think the Pens have a really good fan base. I've traveled to a lot of these places. I've seen a lot of the fan bases, and I'm not going to disagree with you either, but I think the Penguins have a really good fan base. There was just a story that we did last night on KDKA-TV News that they said the Penguins they're the second best traveling fan base in the NHL. I think it was 9th overall out of all professional sports. So that's pretty good. Chicago was #1 in the NHL, and the Penguins were #2. And you're right, the Rico Fata era, it was no good. I mean, you couldn't even give Penguins tickets away. I remember I forget where I was working at the time. It was either Channel 11 or at Fox Sports Net, but I was in Pittsburgh, and I remember we would get tickets and try to give them away, and none of my friends would. I'd be like, hey, you want to go to the Penguins game tonight? I got tickets, and no one would take them. It's kind of like Pitt basketball and, maybe the Pirates at times over the last few years, that, this is a winner's town, and I think the fans will show up if you have a winning team and you put a winning team out there. And, I believe that there's a silent Pirates fan base out there right now that's just waiting to explode, and that's what I kind of feel bad. All these people out there want a winner in baseball so bad and are craving a winner, and I think this town would absolutely explode if the Pirates were really good. But with that, let's take a break. More phone calls and some tweets coming up next. Stay right there.